guys, so let's start the vlog. It is Saturday, June 17th, 2023, so it's actually, today has been a year since I brought Delilah home, since I adopted her, so she has been my puppy for a year. But let's talk about what I am reading. So I have already read some in here today in When the Reckoning Comes by LaTanya McQueen. I'm literally not going to say what this is about, except it is a horror, like southern horror plantation ghost, because I've been reading that for way too long. So my mood reading pick, so what I'm about to get into here at 3 o'clock, is Beartown by Fredrik Backman. This is a Swedish, is translated from Swedish, so it takes place in Sweden, and it is like a hockey town. One of the star players assaults somebody, and it divides the town, so it's going into what is a community, what brings together a community, what can also divide a community, and it just so many different kind of themes. But for where I'm at right now in the story, that's pretty much the main one. Then I am going to be starting a new ebook tonight, because I don't like reading mass market paperback, especially when it's like 1,000 pages long. So this is Drums of Autumn by Diana Gabaldon. So this is the 4th book in the Outlander series, and I did watch the new episode of Outlander last night, and it was so good. The dialogue was amazing, and yeah, it really did. Just like last season I wasn't as much of a fan of, but this season I did think was a lot better. I didn't like the theme song though that much. I don't know, I just because they do a different theme song every season. Like, it's the same song, but like a different style, like a different style of music, and I just really didn't like this one. But everything else was fantastic, and they were talking about this fort that the Americans took from the British, Fort Johnston, which is in Brunswick County, which is literally like, I don't know, 2 or 3 counties away from me. I've never heard of that place, so I looked it up, and I am gonna look more into it, because that's something I had never heard of before, and it's right nearby me. That's why, that's one of the reasons I love Outlander, is because it is in North Carolina at later points in the show, and like my ancestors came from Scotland to North Carolina all around like the same time period, because there was the Jacobite like rebellion, is that what it's called? I don't know, but all that of the Scottish and Britain feuding. And then my TBR pick, which I'm not going to be picking this up until Monday, but is Ghostwritten by David Mitchell. This is a story that takes place kind of like in the late 90s. I would say it was published in like late 90s, early 2000s, and it's all over the world. So far, everything I've read have been in Japan, Hong Kong, and then China. And I think the next one's in Mongolia, so that part of the world, but it does eventually go towards Europe and all of that part of the world. But just how all these different people's stories connect. And it has gotten better, and it is a 5-star prediction for me. Just so many people have recommended me this book. If you are one of those people, comment down below, because a lot of people told me I'm gonna love this. I'm not loving it. It's good, but I'm not loving it. But I did want to just tell y'all what I'm reading right now, what the plans are for this vlog reading wise. I might watch a documentary tonight. I wanted to watch the 30 for 30 on this day in 1994, because a lot of stuff was happening in sports. But it's not on Disney Plus. So I'm like, do I have to get ESPN to watch it? I don't know. Like, if I have to get ESPN, I'm not gonna watch it. But then I saw it was released in 2010, so I feel like the quality might not be that great. So I don't know. But the other one is Bama Rush on HBO Max, or I guess this is Max now, but that is about the sorority Greek life at the University of Alabama, Roll Tide. But yeah, which I've always been somebody who I never wanted to do Greek life, even when I thought I was going to go to college, and then I didn't go to college. But I just don't like, I don't like the idea of it. Yeah, it's just, it seems like it could be great, but then there's just the underbelly of having all these girls together. They're going to be comparing one another to each other, and I feel like there's just probably a lot of competition, and yeah, I don't think that it would be a good idea. So I'm going to get into Beartown now and read some of that. I had lunch, I went on a drive, I watered my plants. So basically all I have to do today is read because no other plans. I just finished Beartown and I loved it still. I would say it's one of my favorite books, even though I don't give it a 5-star. That's always such a complex thing. So characters, just the character work, Frederick Beckman, I only say is a master at characters. This is such a large cast of characters, but you know them all so well, and you don't get them confused, and this is honestly amazing that an author can do that. Atmosphere, Hockey Town, Sweden, small town, does a great job at building community. The writing is good. This was for his books for like beauty of writing. I think this one is the best that way, but I do think this book is too long. It's 415 pages. So it does, like the first time I read it, I took a week off, picked it up again, and I was like, I have to do the audiobook. This is too much. So I do recommend the audiobook for this because I do think it is a bit overwritten. And then plot, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. With rape, and when it's somebody who has more power than the other person. And because honestly, you see so much of that anytime allegations come out that somebody says they were raped by somebody. There's always like, why were you wearing that? Were you drunk? Were you like, you know, all that kind of stuff. And people have to pick sides. People get divided and all of that. And that hate is something that is easier than love. And it's just crazy. So a book, that's one of my other favorite books. This one is a 5-star. Valentine by Elizabeth Wetmore. If you liked Beartown, definitely give Valentine a try. They are very similar, but completely different at the same time. You get it's Odessa, Texas is where it takes place. You get point of views from people all over the city who are all at very different stages in life and all of that, and dealing with a rape as well as the center point of the story. And so I do think those two books kind of go hand in hand. So I will be starting a new book at 6. What time is it? So in like 30 minutes, which will be my Taylor Jenkins Reid one, which is my YouTube buddy read for you guys to read along with me. I don't think anybody is, but if anybody is, let me know in the comments what you think of it and all of that. And Beartown was a buddy read with my friend Kat, by the way. So she finished it last night. I finished it today. I do need to finish the TV series now, but we'll get into the Taylor Jenkins Reid one in a little bit. Okay, awkwardly recording this because this camera, the bottom part that goes on the tripod is like messed up because it's not the tripod, because my other camera, this camera, can go on it, but the others can't, which is annoying. So y'all are sitting on my TBR. But this is the book that I am about to read, which y'all already kind of know about because I did do a post at the start of the month saying that it's our buddy read for June. I am reading all the Taylor Jenkins Reid books in chronological order of publication order, that's the right word. So if you guys would like to jump in at any time, do feel free, because I know some of these books, majority of these books are very popular books, so maybe you've read one so you want to skip that month, feel free to do so. But I do a vlog like this every month of talking about the book as I read it. I update it more than I update because with my other books I update every 25% every quarter, but with this I update every day on my thoughts and all that. So I actually do not know what this book is about, so let's see here. At the age of 29, Hannah Martin still has no idea what she wants to do with her life. Relatable. She has lived in 6 different cities and has held countless meaningless jobs since college. but on the heels of a disastrous breakup, she is finally returned to her hometown of Los Angeles. To celebrate her first night back, her best friend Gabby takes Hannah out to a bar where she bumps into high school boyfriend Ethan. It's just past midnight when Gabby asks Hannah if she's ready to go. Ethan quickly offers to give her a ride later if she wants to stay. Hannah hesitates. What happens if she leaves with Gabby? What happens if she leaves with Ethan? In concurrent storylines, Hannah lives out the effects of each decision. Interesting. Quickly, these parallel universes develop into surprisingly different stories with far-reaching consequences for Hannah and the people around her, raising questions including, is anything meant to be? How much in our lives is determined by chance? And perhaps most compellingly, is there such a thing as a soulmate? Hannah believes there is, and in both worlds, she believes she's found him. So this is totally different than anything Taylor Jenkins Reid has done, as we have parallel universes, which I can't think of anything I've read like that, where that is a thing. I know it's a popular trope, obviously, and it's something that I think as humans we do think about a lot, thinking, is this all? And then we always have that when there's a fork in the road, what happens if I go this way? What happens if I go this way? And then thinking back to decisions, thinking, what if I didn't take that class? What if I took another one? Would I have became friends with this person? And therefore, let's say you become friends with that person, through that person you meet the person you're going to marry. Like, would all of that have happened still? It's something that is so human that we only think about. So this is really exploring that. So that should be fun. So this was named a best book of the summer by Glamour, Good Housekeeping, USA Today, Cosmopolitan, and Pop Sugar. So I mean, those are quite a few. I don't know Good Housekeeping, but all the others are really well-known organizations, magazines, whatever. So we're gonna get into this, and funny enough, it's by the same publisher as Beartown, which is Washington Square Press. But I'm gonna start this and see where I get to. Those feathers. I'm sorry, it's so shaky. Alright, so I read 64 pages in Maybe Another Life, and honestly, I'm starting to see two common themes across Taylor Jenkins Reid's books. So I can think of 3 books where this has been a major plot point. Is there's a car accident, like, I know we are a car country, like, everybody drives, and especially all her books take place in Los Angeles, and that is such a car city. Like, it's a very spread out city where you have to drive, and there are probably so many car crashes a day. But if it happens in every single book, like, come on. And then I feel like all of her main characters come from broken families. In this case, the girl's family, her sister and her 2 parents live in London, where she finished out high school living with her best friend and then didn't ever live with her family again. And so there's that. And then there's some where maybe the dad's not around, or maybe just they have a bad relationship with their parents. So like every single book, they come from a broken family. And I'm like, yeah, it happens. It's extremely common, which is sad, but like every single book. But yeah, I am actually liking Hannah, the main character. I usually go into these books not liking the characters, but I am liking Hannah. Very relatable. I feel like all of Taylor Jenkins Reid's characters, almost all of them, are relatable. So, it's fine so far. No strong opinions. But I will be starting Drums of Autumn after I take my bath. So with this one, let's look at this cover. These covers usually mean something. So we're looking at that. I'm curious what this is going to cover, like what seasons of the show, and what's all going to happen in Drums of Autumn. Happy Monday. I don't know what time it is. Well, it's a little past 6. The date, the 19th. The brightness is kind of weird. It's because it's kind of overcast here, so don't know. But I have been reading today. I did not read yesterday though, because yesterday I was super sleepy, took a nap, and it went right through when I was gonna start reading. So I was like, I'm just not gonna start. because I'm sleepy. So yeah, I just took a chill day yesterday, but I have read today. I've read When the Reckoning Comes, and then I've been reading Ghostwritten. We're at the part where it's like a non-human thing. Like, I don't know. It's something that gets a host in people. It's not like a parasite. It's like a demon. Like, it's not a demon because I don't think it's bad, but you know, like something that possesses people. The point of view of that in Mongolia. So cool setting. I've always been fascinated by Mongolia because like Genghis Khan and all that kind of stuff. I don't know a lot about that part of the world, so I'm interested by it. Yeah, like y'all know, I was interested in like Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan because I saw it in Noel Phillips, or saw those countries in Noel Phillips videos. And I tried to find books, and it was just like impossible to find books in English. They were all like in Russian, and obviously I did not speak Russian. They use a whole different alphabet, so I mean. But I am about to read a little more Ghostwritten. I need to get Delilah in and all that, then I'll start reading. I just turned my computer on, so I have it where it changes backgrounds every now and again. And look at this. It knows where my soul is. It knows. This is what I want in life. I want it to be fall. I don't know where this is. These people are like walking on it. Like, it looks like the Blue Ridge Parkway, but I don't know, but it's close. Okay, why is my sleeve like that? We're not gonna mess with that. But okay, so I got to over a quarter of the way in Maybe in Another Life. And I honestly didn't think there might be multiple romances going on here. Like, I don't know why I didn't think of that, but it looks like we're going that route. And that song is like, who could be the one? Who could be the one? Hannah Montana. But it looks like it's going that route, which could be very fascinating to see which route would be the better one to go. I'm glad that I haven't been in a parallel universe kind of thing going on, because that would be stressful. People always are... Hold on. Yeah, my makeup was kind of running because it's very humid here and I was doing some stuff outside. But where was I going? I don't remember. I got distracted. I'm sorry, I do not remember, guys. So, parallel universes. I'm glad that I'm not in one. Oh, okay. Yeah, anytime there's a choice to be made with multiple people, they're always like, you can do whatever. And I'm like, I don't like making the choice. But if you're gonna make me do it, I'll do it. So I'm usually who it comes down to, because other people don't like making choices. And oh my gosh, I have like 3 texts. So yeah, my lips look really nice. I don't know why, because I've literally had like every meal of the day except breakfast since I've done my makeup. But yeah, I really need to go get all this off. I don't know if you can tell this side. I have mascara. Like, this mascara makes your lashes so long, they hit my glasses and get mascara on my glasses. Yep, it just happened. I just felt it happen. I felt my eyelashes hit the glasses. But yeah, so I mean, that's a great thing for mascara because it looks fantastic. But if you do wear glasses, it does get on them. So I always have to clean my glasses after I wear mascara, which is only 1 day a week. But I'm gonna get into drums about them later. I'm gonna go on a phone call with my friend after I get a bath, and then after I talk to her. Guys, I hope you all have been having a happy Tuesday, even though it's not Tuesday when you watch this, but I hope you had a happy Tuesday when Tuesday happened. So I just got done reading Ghostwritten for the day. I'm like 60% of the way into it, but I got over halfway, so that's why I'm updating y'all. And honestly, like, it's fine. And it's fun finding the Easter eggs between all the stories, but I'm like, what is the point? Like, that everything's connected? Like, I already knew that. Like, everything in the world is connected. Everything happens for a reason. So I don't get what is so like astounding about this book. Like, people are like, this is one of the best books ever. And I'm like, yeah. But I don't know, it may all come together, but I mean, we're like 65% into it. And I'm still wondering, what is the point? So I mean, maybe I'll find out the point. Who knows? But yeah, Ghostwritten. Okay, so we are going to be doing an update on this, but first I'm going to say, with it being summer, I am going to be more lenient on my ebook, because when I first started reading ebooks, I would only read it if I didn't hit 100 pages in a day. So that's what I'm doing just for the summer months, just to have a vacation. Again, I want to avoid burnout as much as possible because just I've been reading pretty consecutively. I know I didn't say that right, for 6 months, so you only just want to avoid burnout. So that's what I'm doing. But I mean, it's Outlander. I love it, so it's not like it's bad or anything. But I am going to update this on maybe in another life right now. So there's going to be one slight spoiler. So if you don't want to hear that, skip to Wednesday. So, okay. I feel like something that happens in every single Taylor Jenkins Reid book is like the unexpected pregnancy trope. Sometimes people go along with it. Sometimes people get abortions, whatever. And I'm just like, why does this happen? This is another trope that is in every single one of her books. I'm like, as a writer, I get bored using the same tropes. Like, I have to do something different every time, different with every set of characters. So I don't know, like, I mean, these are great writers. Like, Taylor Jenkins Reid is one of my favorite writers. Pat Conroy, great writer, and uses the same tropes in like every book. So, I mean, obviously people don't care, but like, it does get pretty boring after a while if you do it in every single. Lots of updates. It's Wednesday. So first I finished When the Reckoning Comes. I give it a 1 star because I didn't like it and I just need to be comfortable with giving books 1 star. So I think it was more of a me issue that I was reading a chapter every day. And at first I was fine because the chapters were like 20 pages. But then they got shorter and shorter and shorter, so I should have just read it all in one go. So now I'm hesitant to be reading books 1 chapter a day. I don't know. But the next book I'm reading for when I work out is a short story collection, so I think we'll be fine there. Then okay, well, my thoughts more on that. So I liked Mira, but didn't like Jessie. Just really annoyed me. The writing was very vivid and good at painting a scene. And then the plot, I didn't even talk about the plot in my review, but it was fine. But I thought it could be a lot more. But then with Ghostwritten, I got to over 75% today. And the chapter I just read, the Clear Island one, honestly so confusing. It was so all over the place. And I was just like, what is happening? But I cannot wait to know how this book ends. Last update of the night. So I read 25 more pages in Maybe Another Life, and I just want to know, where are the happy families? Like, why do none of these books have happy families? Like, I feel like I know more people with happy families than I don't know, which some people may be like, how? You really just have to look deep into it. Okay, also I wanted to talk about, have y'all been watching or like, you know, paying attention to the Titan submarine, the one that went missing, that was like went to the Titanic and all of that? I've been looking at that all day. Like, every time I check my phone, I have to see updates on it. So I was one of those kids obsessed with the Titanic. There were, I know, a lot of kids who were obsessed with the Titanic. Like, Titanic and mythology, like, you had to be there. And yeah, so as somebody who was like obsessed with the Titanic back, like, what, 2008, this is all just like, oh my gosh, super fascinating. Sorry, I have a tum in my mouth, but I want to know if any of y'all are following it. Obviously, by the time this vlog goes up, the oxygen will be run out if the submarine's still intact. But hopefully they'll be found by the time this vlog goes up, because I mean, I believe in miracles, that they can be found and hopefully are alive. But I just want to know if any of y'all have been following this news story and everything. It's super interesting. So I'm going to go take my bath, do my skincare, all of that fun stuff, and I will see y'all to move this. See, my desk has not been cleaned. I have old cups here. Not cool. My room is a mess. I have several updates for y'all. First, it's Thursday the 22nd at 6:44 p.m. So we're gonna do book updates first. So I started my short story collection today. I bought this book at the start of the month, so I told y'all what it was about then, but I know some of y'all might be new here, so you may have not seen that video, so I will tell y'all what it's about. So this is Interpreter of Maladies by Jahuma Lahiri. Sorry, I have a hard time reading this font. I talked about it in that other video as well. But this is a winner of the Pulitzer Prize, which is obviously very exciting. But this is a stunning, I hate that word, debut collection. Unerringly charts the emotional journeys of characters seeking love beyond the barriers of nations and generations. In stories that travel from India to America and back again, Jahuma Lahiri speaks with universal eloquence to everyone who has ever felt like a foreigner. And I think that is something so human that a lot of times everyone will go through an incident in life where they feel like they don't fit in. It doesn't necessarily have to be you're in a whole different country. Say you're in America and you're from India. It doesn't have to be like that. It can just be the smallest thing. You could be like, my outfit isn't really matching everybody else's. So like, I mean, it's little things like that. Like everybody feels like that at some point in their life. So I think that that is such a theme that anyone can relate to. So I read the first short story in here. I started that today. I am enjoying the writing. And then I just finished Ghostwritten by David Mitchell. This was a 5-star prediction for me, and I ended up giving it a 3-star. I am going to give him, I have 2 more books by him, but own 2 more books anyway. So I'm still going to give him more chances. And this was a debut, which I know this is like an extremely popular book, but obviously it's a debut, so you get better with time. So I am going to give him more chances. So let's go through the call-pal system. Characters, my favorite was how do they describe her? An old Buddhist woman running a tea shack in China. She was my favorite, but we only see these characters as a POV once. You will only get 1 chapter of them. So you don't really have a ton of time to connect with these people, but that's not always an issue for me in books. Like Malibu Rising is one for an example that I read, and I was connecting with characters who were only there for 1 chapter, and it was chapters way shorter than this. So, and I feel like the female characters in here were basically made as sex objects, like they only were there for male pleasure, kind of. But I mean, and also this was written in the 90s, so things that the world has changed since then. Basically the same, it's changed in 24 years. But yeah, so the characters, some of them I really got on with, some I was just like, yeah, they're there. I didn't hate anybody, or at least I don't remember hating anybody. Atmosphere, this was really cool because there were so many places, Asian places, that I don't get to read about, like Mongolia for one. I've always been fascinated by Mongolia because of like Genghis Khan, that kind of thing. But it's so hard for to find books on those places sometimes. And even like we had some smaller places in Japan and China mentioned that in the West it is very hard to find books in English that are about these places. So when I can read something in somewhere like that, I eat it up because I want to know about different cultures and cultures that I really don't get not much of a handle on. And especially this book is coming out right after the fall of the Soviet Union, and obviously a lot has changed in like China since then. So having those, like we had St. Petersburg as a setting. They were just calling it Petersburg, so I don't know, is that like normal just to call it Petersburg rather than St. Petersburg? So yeah, we had Russian settings after the fall of the Iron Curtain and all of that, so really cool. The writing was fine. I don't think I had a single writing tab in here. No, I didn't. No tabs for writing. It was fine. Plot, I love plots where it's all just little instances connected, and I think this plot is a great idea. But at the same time, I'm like, what did I just read? What was the purpose of that? It's going to be one that I'm really going to have to research, which there are a ton of Reddit threads about this book, so I cannot wait to go on that deep dive. So this is one that I really think I am going to need some time away from just to think about what I read and just find out on my own what I think about it. So I will be getting into maybe in another life later, but I am doing so a lot of stores today have released like their Halloween collections or a sneak peek at their fall collections. Bath & Body Works did, and then I'm looking at Cracker Barrel right now, which I don't eat at Cracker Barrel anymore. Their food is really good, but it gave me food poisoning at the start of the year, and I threw up 15 times, so it was not fun. Sorry if that was triggering to anybody, but because I know I don't like hearing about health stuff. But I am making a wish list basically on a Google Doc of Halloween decorations that I want. Will I buy all of this? Absolutely not, but I like looking, I like window shopping, and that's what I'm gonna do. It's the last clip of the vlog, which is kind of hard to believe. I feel like I just started this vlog, like I feel like I was saying this the other day, but it's the end of the vlog. So I got to 48% in Maybe in Another Life, and honestly it's going for I'm gonna have a love triangle, which as you can tell I'm not happy about, because I'm not a huge love triangle person. Like sometimes they are done properly and I do enjoy them, but the vast majority of the time I do not like a love triangle. I do like writing them, I will admit, but I don't like reading them. And they've never really annoyed me like watching, but just for books and some reason I don't like them. It just really bothers me. And I think this one's gonna bother me just by how the last sentence that I read was the interaction between the two guys. I was like, nope, they're gonna be petty and immature even though they're like 30 years old. Like, grow up, please. And so yeah, this is feeling like it's gonna be my least favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid book, which honestly I didn't think I would rate any of them under a 3-star, because I'm thinking this is gonna be a 2-star. It could be a 1-star, who knows? Because I mean, I don't know, I feel like there's nothing I'm really liking about it. Like it's fine, like yeah, but there's things I'm disliking. So that's why I'm like, if I'm disliking things and not liking anything, that should be a 1-star. But I just, 1 star, there's just that negative connotation around it where I'm like, this isn't a terrible book. Some people are gonna like this book, but it's just not for me. So I mean, that's my personal rating, so I don't need to be like insecure about it or whatever. So I read 101 pages today, so I'm not going to be getting into drums once again. But yeah, I'm going to end the vlog here. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been a very rainy week. I didn't read outside once this week. Who knows, that might change tomorrow. But yeah, it's very humid too. The humidity was 85%. I hated it. Hated it. But yeah, so if you made it through this whole video, leave a palm tree emoji in the comments below. And as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!